It's an infomercial. That's right. Infomercial. Good morning. Good morning.
What's Jay Ajayi's status?
Jay Ajayi, day to day.
Are you game planning to have him in? Or are you planning to have him in?
Yeah, and again, we'll find out more today at practice, and then we'll make the determination, whether he's going to be in or out. Decide that later on today.
How's Peterson practicing?
Limited. He's been practicing well. He'll get a full work again today, and get him prepared. But he's another one that's a veteran player, and just want to make sure he's ready to go for Sundays.
Could it help Big V knowing that there's a chance he needs to play this week instead of just kind of getting tossed in the game?
Listen, Big V for the last 3 years has been tossed into the game, so he's used to it by now, quite honestly. And that's one thing that I'm probably the most proud of Big V about is just his ability to get himself ready, prepared, because you never know at a moment's notice he's in there, whether he's starting or coming off the bench. So for Big V, I think he's really become accustomed to it.
How much has that been on your mind this week? Wentz is blindside first game back. Peters has been in and out of the lineup. How much you think about it, and what are kind of proactive steps?
Zero. I haven't thought about it at all.
Really?
No, because I got 10 other guys on offense we're trying to prepare, and the rest of the team. So I don't worry about that stuff. I mean, if it happens, it happens, and it's part of football. And I just don't concern myself with that much at all.
This is the first time in a while Carson's had a full week of first team reps. How's he look in practice?
He's looked good, looked sharp, mentally, physically, looked well, throwing the ball strong. All the things that we've seen, through his rehab and the workouts he's had, he's carrying it over right into this week.
How was his demeanor just coming back to the week for him?
Yeah, it's been really good. I mean, he's obviously was excited to get back out there with first team reps. Started with our walkthroughs on Tuesday, and then carried over to practice. And he's led not only by example, but obviously in the huddle. And it's just back to him communicating with his tight ends, with his receivers, with his backs, and just trying to be on the same page throughout not only practice but throughout the game.
Did you expect to have strolls on Sunday, and if not?
He's another one that we'll make a determination later on today after we get through today's practice.
And then how would that impact Wendell and obviously those guys?
Well, I mean, it's the same as last week. I mean, it's they'd have to take obviously the bulk of the load.
Along those lines, you might be down 2 running backs, you might be down probably 3 wide receivers. Now you have Carson stepping into that. Does that affect your play calling at all?
It doesn't affect play calling. It just affects personnel in the game. Because like you said, we're down some bodies, but. Look, we don't make excuses for it. It's part of the National Football League. Injury is going to happen each and every week, and we got to get the next guy ready to go. And we're blessed to have 3 good tight ends. We get them in the mix. We got receivers that we can move around all over the field and just try to create some matchups. But best we can to keep defenses off balance. We can do that and just get our guys ready to go.
Does Corey's ability to contribute on special teams affect how much you want to use him on offense? Do you ever?
Well, you got to be careful. You got to be smart there. You can't tax him one way or the other. Because he's a versatile and he's a very valuable piece of what we're trying to do, special teams and on offense. So there's a balance there, and we got to make sure that we have the right combination of plays for him.
What have you seen from that 80 defense on film? Not a ton of big names, but played really well last week.
I tell you, these guys. You can definitely see Frank's influence with the entire football team. These guys are flying around. They're aggressive. Their front 4 guys are aggressive. They're penetrators. The guys can get up the field. Linebackers can run. I mean, this is a team that even though they're relatively young on the defensive side of the ball, these guys play hard, and they shut down a pretty good Washington team last week. So we have our work cut out for us Sunday.
Frank was talking about how you guys labeled this, I guess, a West Coast hybrid when you were first formulating the offense. When did you kind of settle into a scheme that was West Coast and spread concepts and RPOs and kind of fit that all together?
I would say probably, once we got through our first year here and kind of understanding the personnel and really understanding Carson and the quarterback position and the direction in which we wanted to head and starting to put pieces around him in year 2 and at that point you kind of you kind of say, okay, this is our identity, and this is how we want to approach each week.
The last,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
is that just the West Coast hybrid? Do you agree with that label? Did you like call it something else?
I don't know if it's West Coast, East Coast, Midwest. It's a little bit of everything. It's a hybrid. It's a versatile offense. I feel it's quarterback friendly, which is the West Coast style, very quarterback friendly. And yet we've introduced a lot of different concepts in it. So it's a very versatile offense.
The last time you spoke, you hadn't seen Jordan in practice yet. 2 days have gone by now. What has he shown you in practice that makes you think he's playing something, contributing something?
Yeah, I mean, veteran player. Obviously, the first thing you notice is the familiarity with some of the terminology. Things have changed since he's been here, but really, he was here just a year ago. In camp, to start camp and all that. So, so he's very familiar with the terminology, the players, obviously the quarterback. That's the first thing, and then secondly, just his leadership, on the field, the way he carries himself, the way he can run routes, and just a smart guy, and those are things that he's brought to us and gives him an opportunity to possibly play.
How have you been dealing with working with Mike Rowe during games, having him in your headset, particularly during the two-minute drill? How's it different than Frank?
Not a ton. In fact, it's one of the things that Mike and I, like Frank and I, really have embraced, and that's the communication process. And there's times during, whether it be 2-minute, end of half, end of game, or any critical situation where I need him to be in my ear, because I might be managing the game from timeouts perspective or something of that nature, and a challenge of some sort. And so I just need him in my ear so we can be prepared to, because I'm the one talking to the quarterback, so I got to make sure that I'm being able to do both. And having someone like that in my ear is very helpful to sort of expedite the offense and get the next call ready to go.
Alshon's been,
Sorry, go ahead.
Alshon's been limited in practice. Has he been cleared for contact yet?
He has not been cleared. He is on a limited basis. He's looked really well. He's looking strong, running good routes, and we're progressing day by day with him. Yeah.
Doug, it's not about the game, but last night, obviously, you probably didn't see it. Cleveland ran really special. Is that play been run more than we actually realized by different teams?
Oh man, that play has been run a bunch. It's a great football play, and it was exciting to see it last night, and for Hugh to, obviously, and Todd to call the play, and just the execution of it. Of course, it went the other direction. So it's great to see. It's great to see plays like that being used. And it's a widely used play. When you go back and look at the history of that play, and I mean, it goes all the way back, as you saw the report last weekend, I think, by Jaws. I mean, or not Jaws, but Sal. Even the high school, teams are running it. So it's a great play.
Mayfield ran it to college, too. Apparently.
He did at Oklahoma. Yeah, he ran it. So it's he could probably coach it up.
Doug, you've spoken about it before. What did Frank mean to you while he was here? How did he make you that?
He's a great man, great man of faith, as you know, and he and I really connected on that level, on a spiritual level, and that really helps keep me grounded. As you know, I spend time in the mornings, just going through my devotion and reading my Bible, and he really kept me accountable in doing that, and so I owe a lot of gratitude to what he meant, on a personal level. And then from the football side, just obviously his demeanor with the quarterbacks. He's got a very sort of a calming presence. I don't think I ever saw him get his feathers ruffled, at any time. And I think that speaks volumes. Sometimes you don't have to scream and yell and holler all the time to get your point across. And his demeanor really carried well with our quarterbacks, and did a really good job for the 2 years he was here.
He's in your pastries, too.
No, I heard you guys are full though.
Who had a better arm, you or Frank?
Oh, me, of course. Yeah, without a doubt.
All right.
Thanks.